Hey Paranormies, it's Alice and Jen, and you're on the light side of the paranormal.
It is Friday, and that is reaction day, and today we are going to be reacting to something we don't react to very often, but I think this is long overdue.
Because we're both very fascinated by it.
Yes. So today we are going to be reacting to UFO videos. Now we have reacted to aliens before, but not specifically UFO clips. And this is going to be a reaction to Watch Mojo, which we have reacted to their stuff before, but it's been a while, so.
You know, I love her voice. I find it so amazing. I just have to point that out before we get started with that. And if you don't know, UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object. Some people think that UFO means alien.
Oh.
Right? So I just wanted to be clear.
I'm just kidding. And then there's also USOs, which are unidentified sunken objects.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Sorry. Unidentified submerged or submerged. Never mind.
It doesn't matter.
I just sound like a friggin' idiot. Okay.
As you can tell, it is nighttime. We know that you love a good old nighttime reaction. We are alone in a spooky place by ourselves in the middle of nowhere.
In my haunted Jeep. And let's do it.
Yes.
Yes, queen. So the video we are specifically reacting to is top 10 UFOs caught on camera. Nice and simple, very straightforward, and the link to that video is going to be up here. If you are new to our channel and this is the first time you're watching us react, we do talk through this whole thing. So if you don't want to hear any of our stuff, you can go over there and watch the video without our commentary. But another thing that we're going to be doing a little bit differently today is we are not going to try and debunk anything. This is going to be just a straightforward, do you think it's real or fake? Yes or no.
We do have a special guest for our reaction tonight. My haunted dog, yeah. I would leave her here, but she's gonna just be cut off by the video the whole time.
Yes.
But just know that she's here.
With us.
Yes, she is with us in many ways.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Are we alone in the universe? This evidence suggests we aren't. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 UFOs caught on camera. For this list, we're looking at the most famous, argued about, and unusual videos of unidentified flying objects. Number 10, the ISS Light Beam. In 2016, a video surfaced on YouTube from NASA's live feed of the International Space Station, seemingly showing an object making atmospheric entry. The feed was then suspiciously cut off, although NASA claims that this was due to technical difficulties, and the object was likely debris or lights from Earth. However, a subsequent video from the same feed showed what appeared to be a similar object departing Earth, followed by a bright golden beam of light.
Is this a UFO leaving the Earth, making the jump to hyperspace? These are real images from the International Space Station's live feed. They show a spherical object leaving the vicinity of the Earth and traveling upwards. As the object disappears, a beam of light shoots out.
This wouldn't be the last time that conspiracy theorists gravitated towards the ISS. In 2020, the feed captured another object moving over Earth. It was later reported that this was a retired communications component being jettisoned, although we're definitely keeping a close watch on the ISS.
We discard of our trash and equipment that's been put through its paces and is now retired.
You
Number
just
9,
eject it into space? Is that what he's saying? Like when they're done with equipment, they just eject it into space?
That reminds me of Futurama. This is the thing. When he was explaining what that was, if it was as simple as ejecting garbage into space, he could have been like, we were disposing our garbage and it just flew up into space. But he was like, and the and to me that's like, I'm looking for words to say. I'm looking to possibly lie, maybe. I don't know for sure. We don't know, but like that's fishy. And all of this like covering up that's kind of going on is very sketchy.
I can't get behind the fact that they're just ejecting garbage into space.
I'm not surprised.
I'm so angry.
Like it's horrible.
Unless I've like misinterpreted what's going on here, but are they just being like, oh, when we're done with some stuff, we just shoot it up into space? That's a conspiracy all on its own. Like that should not be happening. But is it a UFO or not? Yes or no?
I think yes.
I think yes too. It was definitely coming out. And what's with the beam after?
Yeah, like Was that just like a trail of clouds from our atmosphere that was like kind of
maybe.
sucked up with it maybe? Who was visiting?
It's a yes. For me,
Me as well.
Number 9, the STS48 Incident.
Tony, what can you tell us about this last-minute delay and what's happening right now?
Launched on September 12, 1991, the STS-48 mission's goal was to deploy satellites from the Space Shuttle Discovery.
This scene shows the actual release of URs with the mechanical arm. The arm is being backed away from the spacecraft.
In UFO circles, though, the mission is best remembered for footage captured on September 15th. While not easy to make out, the video shows objects zooming by and bright lights flashing in Earth's orbit. According to NASA, these were ice particles responding to the engine jets. Astronomer Phil Plait has backed up these claims, but we gotta admit, the believer in us likes to wonder. It's not the only space shuttle mission to have caught ufologists' eyes. In 1996, footage from STS-75 seemed to show objects buzzing around the broken tether of a drifting satellite. Debris or curious visitors?
Well, the long line is a tether, and there's a little bit of debris that kind of flies with us.
That looked like debris to me.
yes, I was going to say that's more believable as just like floating space junk. Hopefully not garbage from Earth. Still angry.
You're stuck on that.
But yeah, it just kind of looks like floating, like
Yeah.
dust orbs, you know?
Yeah, totally. In our humble opinion.
Number 8, the Kaikoura Lights. It's only fitting that the Kaikoura Lights surfaced the year after Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind hit theaters. New Zealand's Kaikoura mountain ranges caught the media's attention on December 21st, 1978, when a cargo plane crew observed house-sized lights flashing around the aircraft for several minutes.
Thousands of UFO documents have been released by the New Zealand Air Force. The documents released under Freedom of Information laws cover sightings dating back to 1954.
Air traffic control specialists from Wellington tracked the lights, which an Australian television crew then recorded in color. The TV crew came along for the cargo plane's next flight from Wellington back to Christchurch. Shortly after takeoff, the crew captured footage of a giant illuminated orb. New Zealand's Ministry of Defense has provided several possible explanations, including lights from boats, cars, or Venus. But alternative explanations abound.
Others say it could have been an unusually bright sighting of Venus or merely radio and light wave transmissions. But for those who believe, even the publication of such sightings is a breakthrough.
I'm confused by that. Sorry.
We're both like, I just felt like there wasn't a whole lot to go off of in that clip.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really hard to make like a solid decision of yes or no.
Yeah.
However, do I think that it's freaking Venus lit up like a Christmas tree? Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
no.
Could it be something that's not a UFO? Yeah. You're just not seeing enough to know.
No, I mean, that's like me telling you I had this crazy profound, sighting of something, but I'm so rattled and zoomed in that you just see this floating light. Like,
Yeah.
it's not really good proof. I understand that the TV crew actually went out to film that. Mm-hmm. So it must have been enough for them to go.
I think I have to say no.
Yeah, no.
But I'm kind of on the edge of like, I'm teetering. I'm not quite sure just because there wasn't enough.
Number 7, the Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights have inspired a documentary and multiple horror movies, but
Yay.
nobody can say for sure what happened on March 13th, 1997.
In 1997, you took part in one of the largest military cover-ups in United States history.
That's correct.
This incident can be broken into 2 phases. First, a V-shaped formation was seen flying over Phoenix, although little footage exists of this event, and the footage we do have is low quality. There's more documentation
That's
of the second
amazing
event,
quality.
which saw 5 circular lights floating in the night sky.
Oh, that's a
There
different
were
time.
many events starting at 3 p.m. in the afternoon and continuing
She's got the
all way until
Rachel face
5:30 the
framing.
next morning.
Even with numerous photographs, videos, and eyewitness accounts, though, a giant
Oh, I
question
love
mark
it.
continues to hover over Phoenix. While the U.S. Air Force chalked the lights up to military flares, many have argued against these claims. And even Arizona Governor Fife Symington described what he saw as, quote, otherworldly.
Well, I saw a huge craft just kind of come right over Squaw Peak. That was, it was just breathtaking.
All the yes in the world.
Yeah.
If I had to put all my yeses onto one video,
Yeah,
this
that
would be the
it.
one. Just take my yeses.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Oh, I've seen that clip before, actually. I'm kind of familiar with that sighting, and it just brings me the most joy. Yes.
It's very hard to deny that that was something different.
Mm-hmm.
Huge yes.
Number 6, the Chilean Navy.
The Chilean government agency which investigates UFOs or unidentified aerial phenomenon has declassified and released never-before-seen video from 2014 showing a mysterious flying object of which they suggest could have been a UFO.
A little speck can certainly stir up a lot of speculation. In 2017, the Chilean government agency tasked with examining UFO sightings released footage of a flying object that defied explanation. The footage, which had been classified for almost 3 years, was taken by the Chilean Navy from a helicopter during the day. The pilot failed to make contact with the object, which moved like another helicopter.
Wow.
Even more curious, the object didn't pop up on air traffic control radar.
In 2 instances, the object ejected some type of gas or liquid with high thermal tracking. Captured on video, you can see a massive plume of material trailing behind the object.
Most mysterious of all, the UFO released an unknown substance and vanished into the sky. Experts were stumped, with the agency's director saying, quote, "We do not know what it was, but we do not know what it was not." Well, that's reassuring.
After an extensive study, the Committee for the Study of Anomalous Aerial Phenomena agreed it had all the characteristics to be classified as an unidentified aerial phenomenon.
I've heard of the possibility of planes and stuff, you know, chemtrails and like all that stuff. I don't think that that's what's happening here, because that did not look like a plane, and they would be obvious to them that it was a plane or a helicopter.
Right.
Because they know what they're looking for.
That's important to mention.
Yeah, so it wasn't those things. It wasn't the other list of things that they had as well.
Yeah.
So what was it ejecting?
That's the scariest part, you know, like the fact that it's disc-shaped, it didn't show up on their radar, and it seemed to kind of vanish after it had shown up. All of that is very, very strange. But the fact that it's releasing things into our atmosphere and like seemingly, like it's not super high up, but that it would just get swept away, like it would fall. Yeah. So how often is that happening? What is that substance? Could it be linked to any type of disease?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it disease or something, or is it healthy? Is it like something for our benefit?
But here's the thing with, you know, alien life forms is like, what would they get out of, like, how would it benefit them to help us?
Yeah.
At all. You know, like, it would benefit them to
maybe
kill
it's
us.
like when you have like a pet.
I have a theory that, like, we are their favorite TV show.
Yeah, like we're
like,
their
humans are
reality,
so
like
stupid.
we're their pet, and they're like, they're so dumb. We have to help them a little.
They need help. Like,
they can't do this on their own.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I watch Fail Army a lot, and every time I watch those compilations, I'm like, the aliens must just die
shake
laughing.
their heads.
Like, I can't believe that. But it's also probably their favorite show. I don't know how it
We're
works.
entertaining, to say the least.
We're getting off track, but this is important.
Yes.
Let us know your theories down below. What do you think that mysterious substance was? And also, any commentary on our commentary.
So is that a yes or no for you?
I think it's a yes.
That's a yes for me.
Number 5, the Mexican Air Force video. On March 5th, 2004, the Mexican
Looks like
Air
a
Force
flying car.
reported footage of
It looks like
11
your dream.
UFOs at 11,500 feet above southern Campeche state. Surrounding a military jet, these lights were detected during a routine search for drug traffickers. Jets pursued the UFOs, but eventually gave up and the objects disappeared. While some believe this was the work of flares, explanations also
Okay, that's
range from
weirder.
ball lightning to a meteorite deteriorating in Earth's atmosphere. Whatever these objects were, infrared equipment operator Lieutenant Mario Adrian Vasquez is convinced that they were, quote, completely real. Pilot Major Magdaleno Castañón went so far as to suggest that the UFOs knew they were being pursued.
So they're like possible explanation, ball lightning, or like, what did they say, like a meteor burning out? They're moving like at a steady sideways rate. I don't think either of those would move that way.
It would be way more erratic.
Yeah.
And like totally random.
It would be falling.
And yeah, like
And it wouldn't just disappear, because you'd be able to follow it and be like, oh, there it landed.
it almost looked so perfect to the point that I'm like, how is that not a group of jets or planes or something. Like,
it was moving very together. Like,
it's just weird.
Yeah, I would say that that's very UFO-esque.
Absolutely. And notice how we're seeing a lot of these like linear lines.
Those are what's
shapes.
the most convincing.
Yeah.
A group of lights that can move in unison. Or like, you know, sometimes you see them go and then they're in a line and then they're in a line this way. Like, that's very convincing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I think that's a yes.
Yeah.
Number 4, the Aguadilla Airport incident.
I don't believe anything in my life.
Even by UFO standards, this one's perplexing. It all started in April 2013 at the Rafael Hernandez Airport, located in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. A video was taken of an unknown object swiftly flying over land and then seeming to submerge underwater. After doing so multiple times, the object appears to split in two. Supposedly, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security tried to keep this under wraps, but the video was eventually leaked by an anonymous whistleblower. A group known as the Scientific Coalition for Ufology was responsible for posting the footage online. According to the SCU website, it, quote, exhibits characteristics that cannot be explained by any known aircraft or natural phenomenon.
I find so many times when you see UFO sightings, they're very small. And like that one, move very quick and smoothly, but they're small. So assuming that they are being powered by an extraterrestrial, if we are imagining that this ET is inside, it must be fairly tiny. Like, tiny.
Right. And then it makes you think of some of the videos we've seen online of aliens.
Yeah.
And they're very tiny.
Yeah, like...
Remember, like, the little feet that one?
The Fresno night crawlers and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
There's obviously different species. Like, we know there's the grays, and those are your typical large-headed, gray, naked, black-eyed scaries. But, like, if there are small aliens like this, are they more, like, fairy-like? Is that, like, what people are...
Well, we don't know. That's the thing.
Like, it's so intriguing.
There's so much that we don't know, but I do find it very exciting and validating that it has finally come out and like been confirmed. Like, yes, aliens are real. You know what I mean? It's no longer like, do you believe in them? You know?
Yes.
So I'm really hoping that since then we will start to dig a little bit deeper and like more information will be released and possibly like more contact will be made with them in order to
I'm sure there's already
educate
lots
ourselves.
Of contact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's what they release and what they don't.
For sure. I'm just excited and
yes, it is very
I want to
exciting.
Learn more, but there's not much out there yet.
Yeah.
For us.
So I would say that video is a yes from me, and I find it so intriguing that it's a smaller craft.
And the fact that it broke in two.
Oh, that too I wanted to say.
Yeah.
That happens often where you think you're looking at one and then it splits and you're like, is there something riding in this UFO, or is it just powered by something like a drone, or is it something that we can't even understand because it's so
otherworldly?
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of our comprehension as human beings.
Yep, because we stupid. Is that a yes for you?
Yup.
Okay.
Number 3, go fast. Our top 3 UFO sightings are actually part of a package, although each has a distinctive signature.
Pentagon has now declassified 3 videos showing Navy fighter pilots interacting with unidentified flying objects. Watch.
Filmed by the U.S. Navy and published online in the late 2010s, they were declassified and officially released by the Pentagon in 2020. Released under the file name Go Fast, this video was taken over the East Coast in January 2015 by an FA-18F Super Hornet during the USS Theodore Roosevelt UFO incident.
Is it that tiny
The footage
little
was captured using Raytheon's Advanced Targeting Forward-Looking Infrared Pod, or AT FLIR. And just as entertaining as the footage itself is the fighter pilot's comments. While the audio is somewhat hard to understand, you can certainly grasp the astonishment they experienced while watching the object.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude.
Number 2, FLIR 1.
They all go together. Do you want to just watch them all
There's
together?
no wind. And you see this tic tac. It's just this white object.
Where are the tic tac?
It makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit.
Also released by the Pentagon, FLIR 1 was filmed on November 14th, 2004, around the San Diego coastline. Like Go Fast, this video was also taken aboard a Super Hornet using AT FLIR. The footage was captured during the USS Nimitz UFO incident, in which the Navy had a radar visual encounter. The video centers on a dark round object that suddenly moves slightly to the left. After lingering a little while longer, the object quickly darts even further until it's completely out of sight. Commander David Fravor can't tell you exactly what the object was, but he recalls that it, quote, accelerated like nothing he'd ever seen.
There's no propulsion, there's no wings. It rapidly accelerates and disappears. Like, poof, gone. Weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Cool.
I chased a UFO.
Number 1, gimbal. Rounding out this trio of UFO videos is Gimbal, which the Navy captured the same year as Go Fast.
My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 miles from the west.
Often getting mixed up with the USS Nimitz UFO
And not
incident,
faltering
this sighting
at all.
actually took
Yeah,
place aboard
just
the USS Theodore
very, very
Roosevelt by the
steady.
coast of Florida. Out of the 3 videos, the object in Gimbal arguably looks the most like a flying saucer. Before you jump to any conclusions, skeptical investigator Mick West has called all 3 of these sightings into question, believing the gimbal object is just a plane.
Well, if there's a thing, it's
No.
In what world?
Honestly,
And they
world
would know
may
if it's a
never
plane.
know.
Yeah,
Like, if anyone's
exactly.
gonna
All of
know.
the UFO information that the U.S. government's been sitting on, former Senator Harry Reid claims that it, quote, only scratches the surface.
Yeah.
I don't think no
I was
one has
just
the
thinking
answers.
that.
And that is too bad because there are answers out there. But we're not going to get answers just by hoping they come. It can have to take some work.
It's so cool that the U.S. that has released these things, but also, like, they released this much. Like, they probably have the most epic footage out there. And they gave us a grain of salt.
For now. I'm really hopeful that we will get more.
You have too much hope in the government.
Hope in the pressure that will be put on them to release this in time.
I would just love to see some really good footage.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just like eating the scraps. Like, we're like, yes, but it's literal scraps.
Yeah.
I'm heated.
Those videos were very good, very convincing.
Yes. I think what's even more convincing is their reactions.
Yes.
Because like you said, they would know if it was a plane. That is their job.
Exactly. Like, they're staring at that all day long. So, yeah, their reactions for sure. And then can we mention how very smooth, solid, capable, purposeful all of these crafts are. Like, no matter the conditions, no matter like the climate, no matter like that the wind was over 120 miles per hour, I think they said, and they're all just like,
yeah, they're not fazed by it at all.
Yeah, it just is wild to think of the technology that they must have.
Very cool. All 3 of those yeses, of course.
Yes.
Don't forget to leave down below what you guys thought, if you believed these to be real UFO sightings, or if they were just something more man-made or explainable.
And reasons to back it up. And we always love the discussion that happens in the comments section, just like between us and you guys with each other. We just really have such a cool community on here, and we love to hear your opinions on everything.
And if you like this video, don't forget to boop the like button. It helps us out so much, and we really appreciate it. And that is it for us tonight, guys. So until next time,
live your life with love and light.
And keep on creeping on. Bye.
Bye.